Hey folks, how you doing? And we are here for MACT Live, and of course going to be following up with a lot of stuff. Hold on, let me turn the... There we go. No echo. Got rid of it. Anyway, yes, we are back, and of course going to be covering a few things first. And as with all things in MACT Live, I will introduce in a separate video the new members on Sunday. That's what I'm going to do. We're changing the format up. You guys said you wanted me on Friday, and it is Friday at 5 o'clock, and I am here, so hopefully I see you. And of course, part of this is for all of you to ask questions. I'm going to start it out with what I wanted to talk about real quick. Spent about 5 minutes or so on it, so time me. Let me know if I go too long. But I wanted to address batteries on the first gen, the 1.5, and the second gen Edge, because the second gen Edge has not caught up with the technology that is available to the other Ford Edges as far as what kind of batteries you have available to you. Now, in a lot of cases on the first gen Edge, you do have a lot of choices between the SLA, which is your battery, fluid battery, and that group classing on there. I forget what it is. I want to say it's like a, oh gosh, I forgot it already. Anyway, it's a smaller class battery, smaller tray that you're going to have in there. And I'll try to post up the numbers on it, of what class it is, unless you guys tell me real quick. But they have some options available between the SLA and the AGM batteries. I'm a big proponent on the AGM because it's absorbed glass mat and it holds a deeper cycle. You can discharge it further. An SLA battery that's discharged will about 50% will kill it. So if you're really one person that really stresses your batteries a lot, and of course if you want more power on your battery, the AGM is going to be going for you. And of course the first gen Edge does have a lot smaller battery. Now in the 1.5 gen Edge, what they did was they gave you two options. They gave you the option of as like blue, my Edge had the smaller battery in it, and I want to keep saying it's a 54, but then you had the 65 series battery that you had the option for. Now on the 1.5 gen Edge, you have a lot more options on batteries. You can have the SLA, you can have an AGM battery in both sizes that correspond to your Edge. So the 1.5 gives you a lot more options, and being the Edge is, as they say, a power hungry beast. It loves its power as far as electricity. Therefore you need to pay attention to it, because for whatever reason, when a battery on a Ford Edge starts dropping below its available voltage, it starts causing all sorts of electrical boogeymen. The gremlins pop out, it starts running and operating poorly, and a lot of it can be contributed to just the low power of the SLA battery and even an AGM battery. Now, I have bought and put an Odyssey battery in my wife's Edge. It is an AGM 65 series battery, 950 cold cranking amps. And then of course I got my wife a X-Side Edge battery, AGM, and I put that in hers, and it's also a group 65. And of course the tray is expandable on the 1.5. If you didn't know about that, it will hold either the 54 or the 65. It fits. They just made the tray big, and you could put whatever battery in it. If you had a push button start Ford Edge, you would have the 65 battery. If you didn't have push button start, you would not have the 65 in your Edge. But rest assured, you can buy the larger battery and be happy for it. Now moving on, because I said I'd only take about 5 minutes, the other thing that I ran across was I started doing some research and found out that the second gen Edge does not have an AGM in it when it's manufactured, and I've pretty much determined why, is because nobody makes an AGM 98 series battery for the second gen Edge. You can replace that with what we call a 48 series class battery and get an AGM, but you have limited options. Now, that may be your better choice if you want to get the AGM battery in there, but you will not find a 98 series or class battery for your second gen Ford Edge, because we've done the research, and other people can try to, as they say, tell us where to find these at, but Mano and I both looked, and it came down to a 48 was the only way you're going to get that AGM battery. You're not going to get it in the 98 series. And all I can tell you is if you go in AGM, you got that deeper power, better cold starts, higher CCA in a lot of cases. And then, of course, the warranties, give and take, may or may not be as good. As the SLAs, they try to give them a big warranty, and what they do is they roll the dice and say, well, it'll make it 3 years, so let's do it. And if one fails, we made enough money on them that we can give you another one. And that's what a lot of folks do. But on the average, I think an AGM will last a lot longer, and it is what we call a dry cell battery. And that's something else I wanted y'all to know is the AGM, you don't have to worry about it. It's completely sealed. That means you don't have all this corrosion going on. My AGM has no corrosion going on with it. But with the SLA batteries, you have that acid leaking out, and it can get into the terminals. It cause corrosion in your wires, your terminal connections, and everything else. So just be advised, if you're looking for an AGM in a second gen Edge, you're not going to get it. It's not going to happen, and unless you go down to a 48. So that is my piece on that, and now my 5 minutes is up, long past actually. But I just wanted to talk about that real quick, and of course see what you all have to say about it, and see if anybody else can actually see me. Let's see. Somebody said they couldn't even see me. Everything is blurry. I don't know why it's blurry, Mano. Can you tell me? Maybe my camera's bad. Is that better? But I probably need to get a new camera. Who knows? I don't know. I could try to clean my camera. Maybe that'll make it better for you. How's that? Is that better? But hopefully I'm in the right angle again here. Cleaned it for you. Hopefully it's good now. I don't know. Let's see when it goes. Don't know. How's that? That better? All right, I hope somebody's got some questions. Let's see who's got any questions on here, and of course we can see what we're doing. Ask away. We'll see what we can answer, and of course see who's got the best question. If nobody's going to say anything, I will say many thanks to this last video that I made to Steven Aston for making me that video clip of his fuel door. Emergency cutoff fuel door, so that I could put that into my video. I appreciate that very much, Steven. And of course, thank you all for the good birthday wishes on my birthday, and for the gifts that are forthcoming. I really do appreciate that, and that makes my heart just so happy. And you guys are a great bunch. Going back to the DP accessories, I did have some more communications with them, and the deal on the lug nuts is how they designed it was that you'd buy a set of the lug nuts, and then you buy a set of the locking lug nuts to go with it. That's why you would buy two, because you would buy the locking lug nuts and the regular lug nuts all in one deal. I don't know why they don't have a kit like that, but again, that's how it is. but you do get a discount on it, folks, of I think it was $10. So you know, if you stop and think about it, hey, $10 is $10, and that of course is going to be a good deal. And I will be working on the giveaway for those lug nuts that I do have, and I will try to find a way to do this. I'm still trying to figure it out. I've never done it before, so to me it's difficult. How do I get the names on there and such? And my other question for all you folks is that these lug nuts only work for the first gen and the 1.5, if I remember right. So you know, if you're a second gen, if you could put your name in, but they're not going to fit your edge. You know, if you just want to win something, I guess that's the way it is. But I would tell you that, you know, why not let the people that actually own a car that they work on win them? That's just me, you know, just how I would do it. But you know, by all means, I don't know what kind of edge you own or whether you can use them on anything else. So you do what you feel is right. But I will put the lug nuts up and get a drawing done. Who knows what I'm going to do? A lot of people giving me ideas, and I'll just try to do that. So anyway, what else do we got going on here? Big announcement tomorrow. You saw I will make the t-shirt announcement tomorrow, and at noon. And just before I go live, I will post the link to the t-shirts, and then you guys can order the t-shirts, and I will explain everything that goes with it, and of course what you need to do, and go from there. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Now, what else do we have here? Let's see. Hey, Kevin, you made it. He made it to a live video. He's usually out there cooking corn dogs or something. I don't know where he's at. Practice. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Kevin Messner has a secret hobby, and he's a cheerleader on the weekends. So he takes pictures, he does music, and he is a cheerleader. So yeah, give him a hand for doing a lot of stuff as far as that goes. As far as what's going on, you know, with me and what I'm doing with the Edge, I put that video out just today on emergency fuel shutoff. You know, did that, and I'm working on the oil sample videos, and I'm going to put those out bang, 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 and that's taking up a lot of time, folks. You know, trying to put out a regular video for the Ford Edge group, and then trying to do this oil special thing, because you know, I don't want you to all lose track and think I'm losing my scope by doing suddenly Bill's the oil guy. No, I'm going to keep the Ford Edge videos going, but I'm going to do this series, and I really truly am doing this series in accordance with how the oils will work for the Duratec engine, and I'm not going for, you know, oil guru. I'm just trying to do it on how that goes. Let's see. Mike, he found out that from the Ford dealers about his PTU pick, and it's supposed to hold 18 ounces bone dry and a small plug in the drain plug. And let's see, he's got it all figured out, and I think he took a bunch of pictures too and video, and definitely got everything figured out for us. So 18 ounces is what he's being told, and I've been told people that drain them are getting 16, maybe 17 out of them. So some residuals left in there, and of course you're not going to get everything out. Just sort of like an oil change in your engine, you're not getting it all out. You're getting 90% or 95% of it out at least. So that stands to reason, and we're glad to see that the new generation of Ford Edge finally has a drain plug. Finally. Okay? And he took a picture and he showed us something we haven't seen on the Edge. The Edge actually has an air scoop under it directing airflow to the PTU. Yes, we have not seen that. And there's rumors of it, and now we have physical evidence that it has an air scoop underneath the edge to suck air to cool off the PTU. First time I saw that picture of the Ford Edge with that scoop underneath of it to get that air into that PTU. So that is a bonus that we found out today, courtesy of Mike and what he did as far as discovering that for us. Let's see what else we got. Eric says busted. I don't know what he means by busted. Maybe I have to explain himself. He might be talking about Kevin and his cheerleading practice, as far as that goes. Oh boy, yeah, it's quite an ordeal on that. I'll be glad when summer gets here, so it's daylight yet. It's like 5:15. It's almost dark. Aren't you guys waiting for summer? I'm waiting for summer. I wish summer was here. Holy cow, I'm already tired of it. It's only January. Still got February and March. It was sunny today. I was out wearing my sunglasses filming the video because I couldn't see the screen when I was doing the video, and I was squinting my eyes so much trying to see. So, it was what it was this morning. Got lots of projects I'm trying to get done, and I will tell you, I drove my Edge yesterday, and people were talking about throttle bodies. I don't know. You guys have problems with throttle bodies? After 200 and almost 24,000 miles, I'm starting to think that maybe I got a throttle body that might be. Yeah, Eric was talking about the cheerleading. Anyway, I'm thinking, I might be coming down with a throttle body sickness here on my my Lulu Bell Ford Edge. She stumbled about 2 or 3 months ago. She stumbled out the gate at a stoplight, ran just a little bit rough, and then again last night when I was coming home, stopped at a stoplight, and it felt like it was running rough, and then I gave it gas, stumbled again, but took off. So I'm thinking that I might be coming down with a failed throttle body. So I may end up changing that throttle body out and putting another new throttle body in there, just so I don't end up on the side of the road with a throttle body, and then I got to buy one, and I'm over here. I got one in back. I might toss it in the car, and that way I got a throttle body in the car in case if something happens. I could just change the throttle body out. But let's see. What else? Nobody's got a question. The other night when I was on, you guys were animated beyond all reasonable belief. And then, of course, now you're all quiet and shy. Let's see. Eric says he's in Houston and the heat is horrible, and he loves using his heater and heated seats. Well, I guess you come to Iowa and you use your heater and heated seats all the time like I am. And then you can have that. Let's see. Yes, Kevin, okay. Kevin's daughter is a cheerleader. That's why he's at cheerleading practice. I was just trying to fudge the truth just a little bit, and of course, cause a little bit there. But let's see, what else? Nobody's asking questions. That's what I'm trying to get you all to come up with something other than weather reports. Everybody's giving me their weather report. Let's see. Joseph has a high of 61 degrees, and he's having a good time wherever Joseph's at. So apparently 61 is the high in there. And Houston is terribly hot, and of course Iowa is extremely cold. But yeah. Anybody ever go to the doctor and then they wonder, what's the doctor gonna do? All that stuff. I had to go to the doctor today, and she sat me down. She says, she drew my blood and all this other stuff they do to you when you go to a physical. I won't mention all the unpleasant parts, but anyway, she sat down and we started talking about, how healthy I was, and that round is not a shape, and things like that. at least a shape that I should be in. But all jesting aside, she was sitting there telling me that she says, okay, you do this. And then, of course, the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. Yes. Anyway, that's what my story is. I'm going to stick to it. I will rest assured you folks that apparently, according to my physical, I will be around for a while yet. Okay, so no keeling over, hopefully, and dying on y'all. I'll be around for a while. But anyway, busy. See, Jan just ordered seatbelt extensions from his Ford dealer. So he's going to have seatbelt extensions, and I guess he'll be happier for it. Let's see, where's the thermometer for the outside temp on a 1.5 gen? I want to say I have never looked that sucker up. I want to say it's, oh gosh, I thought it was on the door, but it may be up front. But I don't think it's up front near the radiator. I want to say it's up by the door someplace. Mirror or something like that. I'd have to look it up, or maybe one of you guys can look it up. But I've don't know. I never bothered to trace that critter down. But I know it's not up in the front end area, per se, because that's where the heat of the engine is. So I want to say it's by the door area. Let's see, what else do we got here? No more questions? Try to keep this thing moving. See, what are you doing here? Making repair videos or picking on Bill? Well, who knows? Let's see. Says, let's see. Kevin says, mine always has a higher temperature until I get driving. Then it shows the actual temperature outside. Well, Kevin, I have found that in my Edge, the same thing. And I think it has a lot to do where the sensor is, the sun shines on it, and it warms the metal up around where the sensor is, and it gives off a warmer temperature. Then, of course, once you start driving, the air through conduction reduces the heat on wherever it's at, and then it reduces it down to the ambient temperature that it is actually outside. That's the only way I can explain it for that. So that also tells you that it is not near the radiator or anything like that. But I've found that it is warmer, and I associate that with it being the sun hitting some part of the car, causing it to warm up while it's sitting. And then once you move, the wind blows over and it cools. The best way I can explain the situation with it, as far as the the sensor goes. Let's see what else we got going on here. I don't know. There's not too much going on as far as what I'm actually doing. I guess I could tell you all that I am working hard at trying to make sure that everything is flowing smooth for the videos. Got a lot of little projects that I'm doing, and I got some big ones that I'm gathering up parts for. I think you saw me posting some parts for LCAs. I'm starting to hunt down outer tie rods, LCAs, and also the mounts, trans, motor, and torque mounts. I'm starting to gather those up because I plan on refurbishing out the engine and trans and, of course, torque mounts on Lou, because Lou is getting a lot of miles, and on my first gen Edge, the transmission torque mount pretty much self-destructed by about now, so I know that I'm going to be needing to replace that. But I will say that the 1.5 gen Edge, so far, based on everything I've been doing, is holding up a lot better than the first gen did. Now, some of it, like I said earlier, is because I probably abused it, but it is holding up better. Okay, Kev, what are you doing here? Making repair videos or picking on me? Okay, yeah. Let's see. Did you notice a difference when you replace the air filter with an AEM? Sound, performance, MPG? Eric, I did not notice a thing. It ran the way it ran. I'm not going to say air filters are going to increase or decrease, especially if you're replacing an air filter inside a factory, housing. I replaced my air filter with an AEM, not for sound, not for anything, because that ain't gonna, in my opinion, it ain't gonna make any difference in sound. But I replaced it with an AEM because I wanted a dry filter that was low maintenance, that I could wash out with soap and water, let it dry, and toss it back in and hit the road again. The K&N, the reason I got away from K&N is you'd have to buy the oiling kits, you'd have to rinse it out with the special cleaner, get the oil out of there, the garbage, the dirt, all this other stuff. Then you'd have to take the oil and spray it down. And if you don't want to overdo the oil, because the oil then get on the MAF sensor. And some people say I've never had a problem, and I never had a problem with the MAF sensor on my edges when I did have a K&N in it. But I just went with the dry AEM filter for ease of use. Soap and water, let it dry, slap it back in, and off you go. No increase in MPGs. For all intents and purposes, I could probably just go out and buy a cloth baby diaper, put a screen over the intake tube so the diaper don't get sucked in the hole, and probably get the same effect. I don't think it makes that much of a difference, whether it's a K&N or an AEM or whatever filter you're putting in a stock air box. The Kais, on the other hand, cold air intakes, if you run wide open throttle a lot and you have a tune, you'll see some benefit. If you're just like me, a road hog, and just head down the road all the time, I don't know that I would see a big difference in that either, just the way I use my edge. So that's one reason I haven't updated it with a cold air intake, is I just don't think it would do anything. Let's see. Kevin says he thought maybe an antenna. I guess I'm missing out on the discussion. You guys are on your own world here. What else do we got, guys? There's 4 of you trying to get this going. Anyway, as far as going on with the any other parts of what I'm working on, the engine mounts are going to be the big one, and the valve cover will be. I got a lot of stuff. I mean, I've learned over the years running the Orange Crush that there are key times when you have to do major suspension and other part replacements, and I'm approaching that. And the other thing that worries me is that how long is the steering gear gonna last? I'm gonna say the steering gear, if I make it past 300,000 miles with the steering gear, I am gonna count myself lucky. I think the Ford Edge, the 2008, the steering gear on it was toast by 285, and it was just a matter of time before it needed to be replaced. So I was actively searching and looking for steering gears for the 2008 Ford Edge, and looking to see what I would have to do to replace it. And I tell you what, you can't just unbolt it and pull it out, folks. You are literally dropping the subframe out and unbolting it and pulling it out. So you're practically dropping the engine out of the thing to get access to that steering gear. So it's a fairly major undertaking if you're going to pull steering gear out and replace it. And let's see. Kevin says the mount should be pretty easy, just block the oil pan. Well, that was my plan, to block the oil pan. I was just going to tie it up with bungee cords. Was that going to work? I don't know. Let me know if bungee cords would be sufficient. I got plenty of bungee cords. I could do that. I'm assuming when you remove the motor mount, you got to hold the engine up, because nothing else is holding it up other than that. But I could be offside there. Don't know. Yeah, I think the bungee cord idea is not a good idea. But let's see. The thermostat being in the location of the antenna. It could be. I mean, that might even make a logical location for it. I have just never researched it. So you could be onto something there. Inquiring minds want to know. Like I said, I've never bothered to really search that one out. But I've done a lot of research on the motor mounts and the trans mount and the torque mount. I think I got that. Exhaust system's going to be a pain in the butt with the torque mount, but I'll just have to buy some new bolts and some gasket sealer and call it a day. See what happens after that, right? That's the same thing when we changed it out on that Lincoln MKX. Just bought new bolts and hammered out the studs and carried on. Then we didn't have a problem. Let's see. Well, anybody got any questions for me? I'm trying to figure out how to keep this thing moving here, folks. I got to have questions or statements or comments or something. I will say that the group is growing pretty good. Right now for Sunday, we're definitely probably going to be well into the 30s by the time we get to Sunday, because it seems like Saturday and Sunday we tend to build up more members. So the growth is exceptional yet, and keeps moving forward instead of backwards, which is always a good thing. We don't want to do that. Let's see. You guys come up with some questions or something here. Otherwise, you're going to have to listen to me tell jokes, and that will not work out very well. I have a hard time with that. All right, let's see. I do know one thing. My youngest daughter's losing her teeth, and that brings me up to a point where when she was smaller, she's about 5 or something like that, she was brushing her teeth, and she's in the bathroom, and she's brushing those teeth like mad, and then all of a sudden the toothbrush fell out of her hand. It hit the counter and bounced right into the toilet. Like any dad, I took and I got into the toilet, got the toothbrush out, washed my hands, and I pulled a new toothbrush out for her, opened it up, got toothpaste on it so she could brush her little toothies. And then I grabbed my toothbrush, put toothpaste on it. I was brushing my teeth. And then my youngest one, God bless her heart, she says, "Hold on a second, Dad." And she opens the drawer and hands me a new toothbrush. And I says, "I don't need one, sweetheart. I got mine right here." And then she says, "But Dad, I dropped yours in the toilet last week." Sometimes you just don't want to know, right? Anyway. Oh, hope you enjoyed that story. Anyway. Let's see. What do we got here? Is it possible to bridge the factory amp to the subwoofer? Well, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, maybe somebody in the group that knows electronics and knows stereo better than me would probably be Mano to answer that question. I am just not a big stereo guy. I'm going to assume that with the proper connections and electronics, anything's possible. But I do not know how to do stereo too much. I never studied up on that. So that is definitely a weakness on my part on that. Replacing parts, that would be my forte on that. Stereos, on the other hand, are not necessarily it. Let's see. Darius is his edge stalled again this evening when sitting at a light. Could it be the throttle body based on what was reported before? Was this if your edge is stalling, it could be the throttle body. I don't know what year you're talking about here, Darius, but if you were having a problem fueling up and a few other issues of it stalling, then I would say it's the purge valve. But it seems if you're driving and you're pulling up to stoplights and coming to a slow stop or something like that, the preponderance of guilt then it gets transferred to the throttle body. Now, when you're talking about it's stalled, that would tell me that it's getting worse. Mine just ran rough and almost stumbled and stalled, but it hasn't done a stall yet. So if yours is stalling, there's probably a good chance of the throttle body. And I will tell you, throttle body does not cost that much. And if it takes you longer than 5 minutes to replace it, you're just, I don't know what you're doing. It shouldn't take you more than about 5 minutes to replace that thing if you work quick. Just a few connectors, hoses, and bolts, and boom, Bob's your uncle. You're out of there. 10 minutes if you don't know what you're doing, as far as that goes. Let's see. I've got somebody sent me a message from another group, so I was just reading what they had to say. Yes, 2011, Darius. I'm going to say that you are definitely in the area for a throttle body. Verify, see what's going on with it. Make sure your purge valve's good. Check the vacuum on it so that you know that it ain't failing, because a purge valve is actually cheaper than a throttle body. So double check that, and then of course verify what the vacuum is. I think it's a good brand new one, runs at about 21 inch as far as vacuum, and if they start failing and stumbling, it's going to be below 14. My lowest one was 11, and I wasn't having any operational problems for vacuum, 11-inch water vacuum. So I do know that they run decent at that point. So you would probably, if you're having stalls or anything else, would be a complete failure of the purge valve. I prevented any stalls by replacing them before they got that far down. So that's something that you might want to think about as far as testing that first. And you can use a Mighty Vac to do that. Easy enough, and it makes it pretty simple. Let's see. No one is as quick as a 55-minute plug guru. That makes me wonder, how come nobody else is trying to break my record on the 51-minute spark plug change? Come on, folks. I know there's somebody else that can do it, because quite frankly, I spent a lot of time looking for parts and twiddling my thumbs. Yes, literally twiddling my thumbs while I was doing it. I could have probably cut off about another 10 minutes off that easy. So somebody should be able to, do this in 41 minutes. You should have a race on that. See who can do it the fastest and do it. How about the 9-minute fan change? Anybody try to do it in less than 9 minutes? There's some. I'm throwing down the gauntlet on you guys. Who can beat me on this stuff? And of course, do it faster than I do. Let's see. Somebody's going to do it. Well, okay, it has to be a 3.5 Duratec. I'm going to tell you all that straight up. Ain't going to be no, I'm going to change my 2-liter EcoBoost in 10 minutes. That's cheating, okay? Has to be the 3.5 or the 3.7. It can't be your 2.0, Duratec or EcoBoost. That's cheating. Those spark plugs are sitting right on top. You probably change those blindfolded. Oh, what else we got, guys? Yeah, cheating. That's what we got. I do. Let's see. Let's see. Who have I talked to today? Talked to a lot of people. You saw that I posted that I bought some brakes. Yeah, I decided that after all these years, I've never run slotted or drilled rotors on any of my vehicles and my Ford Edge. I'm always a naysayer on it, and in a way, I gotta be able to speak to my experience on it. So I finally broke down and ordered some slotted rotors, because if I'm going to be a naysayer, I might as well experience it. It may change me. It may change me to the point where I say, hey, slotted rotors are cool, and they do work. So that is my whole point behind it. Not that I'm trying to, go in negative and say, hey, they're no good, and then go back to solid rotors. But I just want to be able to say, hey, I've used them. This is my experience. And is it better than the solids? Were these better than the ones I've been buying from AutoZone? And they could very well be better brakes. And the thing is, they're more dollar-wise than the AutoZones are. I think I paid like $400 for these brakes, and that's 4 rotors and all the pads that go with it. So, there's something that's going to go in with that, in that they do cost more. And I'm going to try, if I can, find a place, not my neighborhood. There's some parking lots, abandoned areas I can go to that are hopefully long enough that I can get up to some speed, and I will do some stops with my old brakes. And granted, they're old brakes, so it won't be a real fair comparison, because I'm going to be using old, pretty much nearly worn out AutoZone rotors and pads. But we're going to see the old brake stopping distance, and then we're going to see the new brake stopping distance with the slotted rotors. Not real scientific, but we'll see a difference, I'm betting, okay, as far as what's going on with the stopping. And if it stops shorter distance, bless it. That's a bonus. Cutting down your stopping distance is always key to avoiding accidents, and that way you don't end up getting your car wrecked if you could stop better. So I'm all for that. Let's see. Kevin's got a 2-minute oil change, and he's cheating too. Kevin is cheating. You know what he does? He goes under there and he takes that oil, and while it's draining out, he runs up top of the car, pulls the oil filter out, slaps it in, and then puts the plug back in, and then dumps the oil in. Straight shot. Yeah, he doesn't even have to undo the oil filter underneath his edge. It's up top. It's a canister filter type. So while it's draining, he's pulling the filter off, doing that, runs under. Who knows what he's got, a plug or a valve on it. Either way, he puts that back in and then dumps the oil in it. He'd probably be done in 2 minutes. But that's cheating. That is cheating. Because you got that filter up top there. I got to crawl under and wait till the oil's done. But let's see. Chuck. Okay. Somebody's making fun of my laughing. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see. No need for plugs for many, many miles. I buy low miles to avoid maintenance. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I drive high miles, so I'm always doing maintenance. I don't know. It's just the way life is. My job and everything I do. Next week I'll probably be over 225,000 miles next week. On my edge. So I'm only 25,000 short of 250,000 miles on my Ford Edge, and that will be the second time that I've had 250,000 miles on an Edge. So, it all adds up, folks. For me, it all adds up. A normal commute for me is at least 2 hours a day one way to get to any part of my work anywhere I go. So, that's just the nature of the beast as far as what I do with my Edge. You guys may have different results. My wife barely drives 2 miles a day, but yet she uses twice the amount of gas that I do. Okay, Manoran says my slotted rotors will make a sound when stopping. Is this like Nirvana type sound, or is it something more horrendous like fingernails on a chalkboard? That's a big difference if it does that. Let's see. Kevin says he did a PTU drain in less than 15 minutes. I don't doubt he did that too. So I can't compete because I don't have a PTU either, and I don't have a 2.7. Otherwise, I'd challenge you on it. I surely would. End up with a race there. Who knows? Maybe someday I will have those systems. But time will tell, right? Let's see. I do have. I guess I'll tell you guys a little bit on some news on some aspect of my life here. I have, of course, my wife and my 2 daughters, of course, living with me, and I will in the future be having some more females coming to live in our house. So, I may end up just locking myself in this basement just to preserve my life. But I love them all, but gonna have a couple more ladies living here in the house with us. They are relatives. One is my mother-in-law and one is my sister-in-law. So I will have 5 females in the house, and I can only say it's probably just gonna be one riot after another, right? Just gonna be fun. That's all we can do. What else do we got going on, folks? Don't want to sit there and get dead space on this, so yeah, we got 5 people watching and only 2 or 3 people commenting. So we got lurkers. We got lurkers. Yes, lurkers are in the office. I don't know what we're gonna do with them. Somebody go get them real quick and make them answer up to what's going on. Let's see, what else we got. Got some stuff going on here on the group that I'm trying to keep up with. Got some special photos that are going to be coming and being put up here soon to celebrate a specific date in the calendar. So look forward to that. Got them specially sent to me, so we're going to be, of course, showing those pictures so that we can celebrate this date. I don't know what date you guys think it is, but keep my sanity, stay in the office. Jan, there's a lot to be said about that. Me and the dogs, yes, they'll become my best friends. They always down here with me anyway. I'm even thinking about putting a lock on the hallway door, so it's like half of the basement belongs to me and nobody can come bother me. And then I'll just deal with my daily life that way. Let's see. Got a shotgun and I'm hiding in the closet. Do not open the door. Yes, shotguns. Yes. Those are for weddings, aren't they? Oh, gosh. We don't want to do that. Anyway, let's see. Stephen Aston. Where is he? Last time I knew where Stephen was, he was going and dropping off a package at Canada Post with a... What bears they got up there in Canada? Polar bears. Yeah, polar bear. The polar bear was getting something. And, of course, he was dropping it off with the Canada Post polar bear, of all things. Let's see. We've got... Until they eat beans. Yeah, right, man. What do the shirts look like? Eric, you will find out what the shirts look like tomorrow at noon. Tomorrow at noon, you'll find out. If you haven't seen them posted already, they are pictures of them with my daughters and my wife wearing them in the photo section. So if you want to see what they look like, you can look there. Otherwise, there are some professional models wearing the t-shirts that are going to be sold at this company. So you can wait until tomorrow at noon, and not only will you be able to look at them, but you'll be able to buy them. Yes, need y'all to buy them. Otherwise, all this work was for nothing. Yes, it was all for nothing if nobody buys a t-shirt. A lot of work for nothing. By the way, folks, I do have all these stickers too. Yes. Don't forget the Band of One stickers. $4 and it's yours. Just send me the $4 on PayPal and you get a Band of One sticker. Buy 2, 3, 4, 10. 10 for $40. Can't beat the deal, right? By all means, buy the Band of One stickers. They're cool if nothing else. I had some extras made, and you know, I went out and a few other people I knew around my office that know I'm on YouTube. I promoted the Band of One at my office. So Kevin, you are all over the office where I work. I gave out, I think, 10 of them to a couple co-workers for, you know, just as a gift for various things they helped me out with. So anyway, they appreciated them and they thought they looked cool. So, you know, pays to no bill where he's right at work, right? Anyway. What else we got? Let's see. What do we got? I see a lot of people answering a lot of other questions in the group. See, Darius says he's going to buy the shirt, and by all means, yes, they will be live. I can't stress that enough. Before I start my live, I will post them up, like I said, and of course you can then get on here on Facebook and buy them, and they're going to be available there. I'll put a link up to them on my YouTube videos also, so you can watch the YouTube videos in the description section, and there'll be a link to the t-shirts there also, so you can buy them through that also. You know, also. Yeah, I'm just using also something terrible, aren't I? Holy cow. Anyway, what do we got going on? I'm only going to be on for an hour, folks, unless I start getting more folks talking here. Maybe it's dinner time and I started too early. I don't know. Don't know what's going on with that. Oh, we got 6 viewers. Steven's got to be one of them. He's just lurking back there. Either that or he's at work trying to sell a Ford Escort to somebody. Ford Escort. They don't even make those things anymore. Anyway, you know, I was talking to a group the other day, and I totally blew it when I was doing a presentation about hearing protection, and they called me out on it because when I was talking to them about wearing headphones, I was talking about wearing headphones when they're listening to music on their Walkman. I got called out by the younger kids really quick on that one, saying they haven't made a Walkman for years, tens of years. I was like, oh my gosh, I just aged myself something fierce at that moment. Just aged it. They gave me a hard time on that one. Let's see. Can we talk about reading glass eye protection, please? ZX2 coming right up. Oh, you guys remember the Ford ZX2? Holy cow, what a flop. What an ugly vehicle. Let's see. What programmer would you recommend if you were going to buy one? I don't know why, but you got 2 different ones. And you're talking about, what, tuners? I'm assuming, Eric. Then you got your, what is it? Your SCT and, I can't even pronounce their name, Lenovo's or whatever their name is. You got 2 of them. They're pretty steadfast competitors. People like one over the other. So it's sort of like what's the best oil, and it really gets down to an argument. What's the best tuner? I have not seen facts on, you know, I can't even pronounce their name, Lenovo's versus SCT. which one has the better tune for the Edge. I haven't seen a head-to-head comparison of that yet to tell you which one is the better one. So you just got to play the roll of the dice, I guess, at this point, or listen to people who will give you the advice that are personally using them, because I can't speak to which one is the better one, because I have not seen physical data as to performance and which one's a better in that aspect. Kevin, he's been eating dinner, and he wants me to talk about reading glass eye protection. Well, eye protection. Eye protection is safety glasses, okay? And that's all there is to it. And if you're working on your car, you should be wearing safety glasses. That's just the point. You want to protect your eyes. I have safety glasses everywhere. The glasses that I wear when I'm working are my DeWalt's, and I've had them for 2 years and they're still in good shape. Just because they got a sock that fits over them when I put them in my briefcase and store them so they don't get all scratched up when they're bounced around. So I like them. They cost more than the El Cheapo pairs you can buy, and I'm sure they do it, but mine are bifocals with 150 plus bifocal in them. And just like my reading glasses here, these are Walgreens specials. I just went to the drugstore and bought them. I don't need them. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I had cataracts, couldn't see, which was quite evident when I was doing my daytime bright lights HID upgrade video. I was struggling hard, folks. I could not see the wires. It was almost like a blind guy putting that mess together. I got it together, but I struggled. So, but once I had the cataract surgery, now I can see to drive. I just need glasses to read. So easy and done. Best thing I ever did was to get that taken care of, because now I can see quite a bit better. And I'm watching the computer screen right now without glasses. So, nothing to say about that. The last dyno test was about 30 horsepower more than what I had from Livernois, or I don't even know how to pronounce them, when I first bought the Edge, is what Kevin is saying. SCT Advantage and Tune My Own Sport. He uses Kevin says he uses SCT, and of course, Mano says he doesn't think the Livernois tunes for the 3.5 like the SCT does. I do know I see a lot more communication with the gentleman that runs and operates the SCT tune, and he probably spends a lot more time on the tunes for the 3.5 than Livernois does. So according to Kevin, he's got stats that said SCT gave him a better tune than what Livernois did. So there's some factual data for y'all. So if you're aiming for that, SCT is the one. And I believe you can directly message the young man, Tory McPhail, I think is his name. He is in this group. You can message him by calling him out by name, and he will answer to you and, of course, help you out. He seems very responsive when you do it. So if somebody wants to type Tory McPhail's name in there in the messages to see if he answers and joins in on this, that would be great. See if anybody does that. Let's see. I don't know if I can do it. Let's see. I typed in there for Tory to join the discussion. Let's see if he jumps in and sees what we're doing here. He may or may not see that we're talking. So, and Kevin says, yeah, Tory does the HP tuner and the SCT TI, he thinks. So, yeah, Mano says the same thing. Livernois and Tory are top of the game. So those are the two primary ones that everybody talks about, and the number one I've really heard a lot more about is the SCT. So if you go just by the chatter as they say in the internet forums and in Facebook groups and everything else, SCT seems to be the one you really want to aim for in tuning, just for that reason. Kevin says I should wear no line trifocals. Kevin, I don't need trifocals. I only need bifocals, because all I need is to read. Trifocals won't do me any good. So, and I'm reading the computer screen right now without lenses, or my glasses. So I'm good. I just, when I'm certain times that I need to wear glasses, but now is not one of them. So I'm good to go. I'm just not as old as Kevin is. You talk about old, when they stack dirt just like that. And, and the thing is, when I got on the turnip truck, it was Kevin that was driving it. That's my story. I'm going to stick to it. I'm pretty sure I'm probably older than, I know I'm older than Mano. I know I'm older than Kevin. Let's just put it at that. Kevin, you need the tries because you're getting cataracts. You're going to have to go out and get your eyeballs pulled out, polished, and reinserted. It's a fun process. They knock you out. Well, not quite. You're still awake for it, believe it or not. Yeah, if you've never done it, cataracts, you're not knocked out. You're awake. Yeah. It's a weird thing. It's a very weird thing. That's all I can tell you. If you've never done it, it's hard to explain. You wake up and there they are. They're going at it. Oh, Scott. I will be doing the video on the cocktail results. All I can say is, it was decent. It was really, really, I'll leave it for me to say when I do the video. Surprising is one word. Okay. So, we're going to see what it says. I do have it, and I do have to put that video together. I wish I had more time, and that's all I can say. I got to spend time with the family. I got to do things. As it is, I got to leave tonight and go out to the store and buy a new darn remote control. Okay? All I can say is, if you got kids, they throw this thing around like it's a basketball. And the next thing you know, it don't work anymore. Then they complain the TV won't turn on because the remote's destroyed. So I got to go out and buy a new remote because they throw it against the floor a million times. So, yeah. Kids, you got to love them. Hardwood floors and remotes are not friends. Let's see. We got somebody joining the group. Should I let them in? Their name is Carlos Bueno. Yes, Carlos Bueno. We always check. One thing that Mano and I do, we look at when people ask to join, we don't just click OK. We go and we look at their page, look at their, information when they joined, how long they've been on Facebook, and, whether or not, there's anything that, would indicate there's some sort of phishing site or something like that, just trying to sneak in. We try to verify it, because a lot of times you get people that got a site that it's an invented name, the pictures don't match, and it was created 2 days ago. Mano and I spent a lot of time weeding out, as they say, the riffraff. Sometimes we get it wrong and people ask to join and we say, okay, you verified yourself, that's fine. But I guess I could put out, like some groups do, a questionnaire where you got to answer a bunch of questions, but I don't feel like making it harder than it needs to be. If you do something wrong in the group, you guys help me monitor it, so I don't see anything wrong with the way the system is currently being operated. Let's put it that way. Manoran says, let's see. Kevin, fake account. He learned from the news. Oh my gosh. Kevin says, how did he get in? Good question. How he got in. It must have been a weak moment. That's all I can say. Had to be a weak moment. And then Manoran, I am not way, 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 way older than you. There is not a way, way, way older than you point here. All I can say is that when I was in high school, you were in high school. Okay? Yeah. There's not a big distance there as far as that. Now I will say that when Kevin was in school, he was in middle school and I was in high school. Let's put it that way. So yeah, not much difference there either, to tell you the truth. Let's see. It was the ball cap. Only one question asked. What is the fastest edge? Okay, Kevin says what is the fastest edge? I am going to say the fastest edge is a 2015 Ford Edge. And it's in Florida. That's about all I know right now. But it's a 2015 Ford Edge Sport that is in Florida. That is where it's at. That's where that Ford Edge is located. And that Ford Edge, God willing and everything else, may end up at the MACT Ford Edge meet. So if you folks, if it works out, and I hope it does, may be able to actually see, feel, and touch the fastest, highest horsepower Ford Edge in the United States. So, we'll just go from there and see what happens. But that would be a good draw for the group if it could happen. A lot of things change in that time frame. It's a long ways away yet. I am defensive, man. I'm always defensive. You never know where you're going to be attacked. And especially with you, well, I gotta keep one eye in the back of my head sometimes. always fun. Toddler high school, maybe. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Fastest Edge is not the one I drive. Most durable Edge is the one I drive. Let's put it that way. I'll take most durable. It has to be. Look how many miles I got on that darn thing. And let's see. That's a question we should ask all new people when they come in. What is the fastest Ford Edge, huh? That would be interesting. We never have anybody be able to answer it. Nobody be able to answer it, and nobody could get in. Well, it looks like we just hit 230 members, which is a fantastic number of folks. So, another one vetted, another one entered. That's how it works. Welcome to the new member, whoever you are. And, of course, enjoy this Facebook Live. Let's see. Who else we got going on here? Not much going on here, folks. Let's see. No other questions. Everybody's sitting back, relaxing now, having eaten dinner. I haven't eaten dinner, so don't think we got too much more going on. I will say we've been at it for over an hour. Unless somebody has anything else they want to say, I think I may be ending it tonight, because I know I will be on tomorrow at noon. And we will introduce the new t-shirts for everybody. Mr. Bueno, Mr. Carlos Bueno is a new addition to the group. Hello, Mr. Carlos Bueno. How you doing? And, of course, welcome to the group. And, of course, Sunday I will reintroduce all of the new people in a separate introduction. So, that being said, been on for over an hour now, and of course I want to go take care of a few other errands yet tonight, so I'm going to let you all go for the evening. Enjoy, and I'm going to take off and go buy me a new remote control, and that way I can watch what is that, Grand Tour on my HD TV tonight in the living room. So you all have a great day, and I will see you all later.
Thank you for watching MACT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Go production.